Welcome to the NBA Convo, and today we're talking about one thing I'm looking forward to with each East team. Media Day has been going on for a lot of teams, and it's really a time to be optimistic no matter what team you're a fan of. You can be a fan of the Wizards, but you're still optimistic about the rookies. You're still optimistic about a bunch of things. I love being optimistic. I'm an optimistic guy, man. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. We're going to do this in alphabetical order. Got my notes right here. We started with Atlanta. They finally have a decent team around Trey. They've had semi-decent teams around him before. 2021 was a pretty well-constructed team around Trey. But this is different. They got secondary playmakers now. And guys like, Dyson Daniels. Hopefully he can have the season that he had last year defensively. Probably will. Kristaps as a secondary playmaker next to Trey. I was watching a compilation on Twitter. I can't remember who made it. But it was just showing Kristaps hitting cutters, bro. And Boston used him as a passer a lot, especially like hitting cutters and hitting shooters, stuff like that, especially cutters. Like give and go was automatic with Kristaps. And guess what? They have one of the best off-ball cutters in Zachary Ricochet. So I'm excited to see how that works. Also, Jalen Johnson coming back. He was looking slim though last time I saw him. So I hope he'll be good when he comes back, because he's usually a big ass guy. So, but I'm still excited for that for sure. All right, so next we have Boston, and it might seem bleak over there with Jason Tatum getting injured last playoffs and losing Kristaps, losing Drew, but there's still things to look forward to. In my personal opinion, I can't wait to see JB as the first option. Jaylen Brown can hoop, bro, and he is he does like having the ball, so I think he'll probably go back to averaging 26, 27 like he did in 2020. Was it 2022 or 2023? 2023. That's when he got the big max. Also, it's gonna be exciting seeing who's like the true second option on offense. It probably will be Derek White, but it could be Peyton Pritchard as well. It could be Anthony Simons. So that's still exciting for me. And then also Luka Garza and Boucher probably getting real minutes, bro. So hey, I love both those players. and Luka Garza will be hooping per 36. Bro, go to this Basketball Reference, go per 36. He be hooping, bro. So let's give him 36 minutes. Next, we got the Nets. I can't wait to see that one random MPJ game where he just drops 50. I feel like it's just bound to happen, even though he looks so washed in that uniform. Like, number 17 is ridiculous, bro. Why are you wearing number 17? You are not Dorian Finney-Smith. It damn near reminded me when D'Angelo Russell came up to the podium last year? He came up to the podium and said, "I'm gonna be Derek White." That's what seeing him in number 17 reminds me of. 3-and-D wing type of number, bro. And he don't be doing that. Also, Cam Thomas, is this a prove-it season for him? Well, it is a prove-it season for him, but will he take full advantage of that? I think we all know about the scoring with Cam Thomas. Will he take another playmaking leap? Defensively, how is he gonna look? And just stuff like that. Conditioning as well, because he low-key needs some conditioning, bro. Next thing we got is the Hornets, and it's actually very exciting looking at it, especially considering where they've been this whole LaMelo era, basically. Colin Sexton being there just provides such a new look for them. Is he starting, or is Trey Mann starting? Who knows? Speaking of Trey Mann, I'm excited to see him back for real. He only played something like 10-15 games last year, but it felt like more. Like, I think a lot of those, like, he was hooping in a lot of those games. Like, I remember specifically a game against the Rockets. Like, I was like, hey man, they might have found something here. It might be their next six man. And yeah, they're finally building somewhat of a culture there. When the rookies signed their contracts, everyone was there. Just stuff like that. It's so good to see in Charlotte, because I feel like the past couple of years they've been known as damn near a criminal organization. They had a bunch of cases coming through. Miles Bridges, James Bouknight, who else? Malik Monk had some shit. So I'm glad to see that kind of change finally in Charlotte. And then Contenders, man, he just plays the game the right way. No, I'm actually excited to see him play. I don't really watch college ball, but I did see a lot of highlights from him. So I'm excited to see how that translates to the NBA game. But he is just the perfect type of player that they needed. Next, we got the Bulls, and it's pretty simple with me. First of all, Giddy, is he gonna improve with the new bag? He already showed a lot of improvements as a player. I will be honest. The open three is a lot better, but they still leave him open though. Like, can he become a shooter where they can just respect him? Like, you know what I mean? Just respect him. Like, they backing up damn near in the paint to leave him open, and it's hard to do that it's hard to be that as a main ball handler these days. That's why Ben Simmons was so easy to play against, especially in the playoffs, stuff like that. Like, so how can he improve as a shooter and just as an offensive player in general? And also Modest. Is it Modest season? Bro, I hope it's Modest season. I hope he don't go through a sophomore slump. I hope they play him. Like, sometimes they wouldn't play him. I'm like, why? It's different in past years because they'll still try to compete, but this roster is not good enough to compete. But the thing is, they'll probably still win like 30 games, which is trash, but they gotta make money somehow, I guess. They gotta sell the team, man. They really gotta sell the team. Reinsdorf gotta sell the team, bro. Please. Next thing we got is the Cavaliers. And they actually did make a trade with the Bulls, and that's one of the things I'm excited for. They traded for Lonzo Ball, and with Darius Garland out to start the season, I'm curious to see, is Lonzo gonna start? And if he does, how is he gonna look? I mean, he started a couple games with the Bulls, and honestly, coming off the injuries that he had, it's actually amazing that he's still playing, and he still plays with the same urgency that he did on defense. No, I don't know about that, but he's still decent. He's still a decent player, and I think he probably could start for the team. Also, Mobley taking another step offensively will be fire. He had some great scoring games last season, and I think he could take another step. Donovan Mitchell's chilling right now. He'll average a cool 23, 24. So I'm excited to see Mobley actually turn it up. Especially with Garland out to start the season, I think he might be the second option for sure. So I'm actually very excited to see that. And then Larry Nance back, play the Patrick clip. All right. All right. Next team is the Pistons. I'm just excited to see, can they keep it up from last year? They were a 6 seed. No one expected that. But, teams like that, a lot of the times they can crash and burn real quickly. Ask the Kings. They were on top of the world with the light the beam stuff, and it came crashing down real quick. If you told me a couple years ago that the Kings would have DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, that they would be the Bulls of the West, I wouldn't believe it. I literally wouldn't believe it. So I hope the Pistons can keep it up. I hope they don't crash and burn like the Kings did. But there is a difference. They're younger. They're way younger. And their star is still developing. Hopefully. And that's another thing I'm excited for. Is Cade gonna be all NBA first team type talent? MVP talks for Cade. I think if they were a top 3 seed, yeah, for sure. But there's still questions. I mean, Duncan Robinson and Karis LeVert as replacements to Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley. I apologize, but them as replacements. How is that gonna look? I'm excited to see that. Karis LeVert especially is way different than Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley. He's not really a shooter like they were. Like, that man is more, he likes having the ball in his hands. And honestly, that's a better look for Cade and them. Especially he's probably coming off the bench, because I just remember, bro. And this is another thing to be excited about. Jaden Ivey is coming back for the Pistons. So I'm excited to see how that looks, because him and Cade actually look pretty good together. So in the limited time that they played last year. So I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that back. Next, we got the Pacers. And losing the way you did in the finals, it does hurt. It really probably does hurt. It might be hard for Pacers fans to be optimistic, but there's still things to look forward to. Nembhard being a first option, I can't wait to see that. I know he only averaged like 10 or 11 last season, so I'm not expecting him to average like 20, 25 or something. But it would be cool to see him average maybe 20. Also, Jay Huff is finally a starting center. He finally a starting center, man. And what else we got? And also, there's guys like Jarris Walker gonna play more. Benedict Mather gonna play more. They got a bunch of young talent over there, and they got their pick back. So still things to be excited about in Indiana. But next we got the Heat, and man, Precious Achiuwa is back in South Beach. Man. That's so exciting, man. Real ones remember 2K21 where he just went most improved player every time. And then also Hero taking another step. That would be great to see. He is injured to start the season though, so that's sad. But he can still take another step. Bam, is he gonna pressure the rim like he used to? Is he gonna take more shots at the rim? Is he gonna take less mid ranges? I'm optimistic to see the possibility of that. What else we got? Wiggins as well. Wiggins, Norman Powell. How is that gonna fit together? They got a lot. They actually low key got a lot of talent there. It's just like mid tier talent. You know what I'm saying? Guys like Tyler Hero, Andrew Wiggins, Norman Powell, even Bam Adebayo. Bam to a lesser degree. But these are like borderline all-stars. You know what I'm saying? They can make an all-star game. Wiggins made it once. Norman Powell was in talks last year. But yeah, I'm excited to see how that whole team fits together. Next we got the Bucks, and I'm not gonna lie, there's really not a lot to be optimistic about here. It's looking rough, bro. But Giannis probably will be an MVP frontrunner if this team is anything over 500. Like I'm not, because over 500 in the East is probably the 4 seed. So if he's got them at the 4 seed, oh my gosh. Miles Turner, how is he gonna look as a Brook Lopez replacement? More mobile than Brook was. That's gonna be exciting to see for sure. And then Cole Anthony. I don't know. I just like Cole Anthony. That's just a personal thing. So I can't wait to see him hoop. And how is he gonna look? Is he coming off the bench, or are they gonna have KPJ coming off the bench? Lots of questions. I don't know. I'm not Doc Rivers. I can't believe Doc Rivers has a job in the way. Next we got the Knicks. Town and Brunson in the new, more modern system under Mike Brown will be so fun to watch. They're gonna get so many more easier shots. Towns was like, Thibodeau is a good coach. Don't get me wrong, but he is very, very old school. And with a guy like Karl Anthony Towns, I don't like that. I really don't like that. Him getting like, I want to see Towns as a playmaker with Brunson, with guys like bro, you got guys like McCall who can cut off the ball real well. Well, they used to. I don't. McCall low-key hates the rim. But they're still good off the ball. OG Anunoby, also Yabusele, because me and him really built the same. So 6'7", big as hell hooping. And also their depth in general is actually fire. I mean, Brogdon signing, Clarkson, like they're so, and they can, I don't know, they can experiment so much as well. They got so many different types of lineups they can put out there. You can put Towns at center and Yabusele at the 4 if you want some like supercharged offense, or you want defense. Okay, we'll put in Mitchell Robinson and Towns. Or you want defense and versatility. We'll put Hart at the 4. They got so many different looks. So that's exciting to see. Next we got the Magic, and I think one thing I'm excited for is the Bane edition, of course. Makes sense. Tyus Jones as a backup, because he was a starter for the Suns, and a lot of people did not like that. Let me say that. And then Suggs returning. It feels like so long since Jalen Suggs has played a game, and he plays so hard that I hate to say it, and knock on wood, bro. Knock on wood, because I hate it, but he plays so hard that it is easy to get injured. Like He be diving for balls. Like, he really don't care about his health. And that's a great thing to have, but I feel like it's guaranteed he's gonna miss a couple games for sure. I want to see Ben Carroll. What's he gonna look like with another year of development? But that's obvious. That's obvious. Next, we got the Sixers, and it was Jared McCain. But as I recorded this video, it was announced that he got injured, bro. So sad, so sad. Like the injury luck in Philly, man. What the hell is in the water there? And then I mean, Trent Watford though. I'm excited to see him hoop. Real ones know that he can actually hoop. He got head like he the next PG, bro. That's all I can say. And now he under PG. Let's go. Also, yeah. And speaking of PG, is he gonna bounce back? I'm excited to see that. Also, their classic jerseys are looking fire, and Embiid is looking slim. So hopefully he can return to All-Star form at the least, man. Like, it's so regrettable. Like, I regret how I used to be with Joel Embiid. You know what I'm saying? I deadass used to be a hater. You know, I was a big Jokic guy. And yeah, Jokic is a better player. But I wish I just enjoyed it. After reading that Embiid article, it's kind of changed my perspective on fandom and stuff like that. I don't be hating on nobody, bro. I don't be hating on nobody. I'm a Warriors fan. I got the Steph poster right there. But guess what's on my desk as well? Man, hey man, we Bron fans as well. Hey man, I love all forms of basketball, man. And it's regrettable that it took me this long, but hey man, no more hating. Next we got the Raptors. You know how I'm excited to see this big four of Quickly, Barrett, Barnes, and Ingram. Like, what the hell is that gonna look like, bro? Like, how are they gonna make that work? RJ has shown potential as like an off-ball cutter and stuff like that, but bro, we barely saw Quickly play. Ingram didn't even suit up for them last year, so it's a coin flip damn near. I don't know. It's gonna be so fun to watch though. And then Garrett Temple Fist on the sideline. Shout out to the ultimate vet, bro. The ultimate vet. And the last thing we got is the Wizards, man. Yeah, the Wizards look good. Added a bunch of talent. You know, I like their vets. Guys like Middleton, CJ, they're professional as hell. As much as CJ ruined the NBA, kind of. But, you know, we don't talk about it. Honestly, that CBA shit is overblown. The NBA is not ruined. People are finding ways around it, bro. But they added a bunch of young talent. Guys I'm most excited for is Malachi Branham. Cam Whitmore, bro. Cam Whitmore. I've seen him in IRL. I watched him hooping in the Summer League. He was hooping in Summer League. And Marvin Bagley's back in the league. That's the thing I'm most excited for. That's really it for this. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe. I don't know. I'm gonna do a West one, and I'm probably gonna write the notes like right now, and then change my fit, so you don't think I'm a weirdo. All right, peace out.